today we got John Hichak from Veseris joining us. John, as always, a bundle of energy. Welcome.
Happy to be here, Andy. Happy to
Oh
be
my
here.
gosh, yeah. So November 5th, we got the Upstate Conference happening again this year. And you guys are a gold sponsor, and we appreciate the heck out of that. That is fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
You are welcome. We love to be a part and we love to contribute to meetings that are obviously successful. But I got to tell you, Andy, last year it was amazing. Like I
Oh,
was, it exceeded expectations.
oh my gosh.
We went to that meeting and, even the night before went to dinner with a couple of vendors and, the next morning, I mean, it was amazing. It was such a great meeting, not just because of the amount of attendees that were there and, pest control operators, but the amount of vendors that contributed to it.
Yeah.
The New York, the upstate New York market has always been sort of like a market that has been, I don't want to say, they haven't given attention to, but they really haven't put a focus on trying to build up a CEU event up there.
Yeah.
And they've done it in the past and it hasn't been that very well attended. And this time around, I got to tell you, it was, we always talk about when we have our leadership meetings, we talk about ROI, return on investment. Is there a return on investment? Because quite frankly, a lot of the, associations, they obviously think that, or they want vendors, to help contribute. And we're coming to the point now where we have to contribute a significant amount of money to a lot of different associations. And our leadership team, my bosses, the board, the CEO, they're asking, are there return on investments? And we have to evaluate it. And, when we saw that there was another, meeting going on up in Syracuse, I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, we are doing the gold sponsor again, and we will be there with not one, but two people.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to be there and myself. I want to be there, see everyone, and I'll be there with my new sales manager, EJ.
Well,
so,
we have a surprise. We have a surprise guest then for you. Let me bring him in. Look at that.
How's it going, guys?
It's going great. So I've been hearing great things about you, EJ. Why don't you introduce yourself so we all know who you are?
Well, my name is EJ Lazzarini. I am the new Northeast sales manager for Veseris, and I am excited to be with the company and excited to be here today with you guys.
Awesome. We're excited to have you. Now, John and I, before we got started, we're just talking about some of your service centers. I think we might take a trip down and visit them. What do you do, EJ, for the company right now?
Currently, right now, I am working with our sales reps to try to get out, obviously promote the Veseris brand, and work with the sales reps to continue to grow the company and try to get them proper training and trying to get out to visit our clients that some of them we haven't seen in a while. So we'll be making our way. We've been spending quite a bit of time in the New England area, and we just recently told that we're now going to be overseeing the Virginia DC market. So I'm excited to get up into that area. Obviously, as you're aware, John's been kind of brought back into his previous role. So unfortunately, he's wearing dual hats. So I'm trying to help him out anywhere I can to try to fill a void.
That's awesome. Now, John, I think that since the last time we talked, did you add some letters to your name?
I did. I recently took the ACE exam.
Holy cow.
I was fortunate enough to pass it on my first go around. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations for that. Holy cow.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And, when I recently got promoted, I said, you know what, now's the time to do it. So I spent some time studying, actually spent several months studying,
Wow.
Even though I've been in pest control my whole life, I wanted to make sure that I was able to pass this test without having any problems. But it was challenging, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, the test was hard.
Yeah.
It was real
That's
hard.
awesome. So, what is new with Veseris these days? What do you guys have going on?
Well, listen, I mean, we wouldn't be who we are today without guys like you, our customers, our people, our people are, they come to work every day with one thing in mind, and that's taking care of our customers, making sure the customer experience is there. Behind the scenes, most of our customers don't know, but we are, constantly upgrading, our platforms, our customer experience. We're making major investments in our distribution systems, our reporting systems, and so on and so forth. We're upgrading our offices. We are currently looking to double our size in our hub in Edison, where we service the Northeast market. We are looking to double our size from, say, 50,000 to 100,000 square feet, where we could stock more product and make it, again, just the little things. Having more product means we can service our customers better and get them the product that they want quicker.
Yeah.
And, we're constantly, just trying to make sure that the end user, like yourself, you're every time you have a touch point with Veseris, whether it's a phone call to inquire about an invoice, an email to inquire about an order that you're trying to track down, an order that's being placed. We want to make sure that every experience is pleasant and that we exceed expectations every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, EJ, do you get involved with the PCOs directly? Do you visit them, or what's your interface like?
We have been, obviously it's been a bit of a slow start, but we're trying to make our way, through the ranks of trying to get out, with John the first month or two. Obviously I'm still learning the new role. So, but we've been out visiting as many customers as possible. Like John said, the touch points, it's very important to us. Obviously this business is about relationships, and we want to, John spent many years, obviously, growing the territory and being successful. And obviously I want to try to add to that and, give as much positive impact on the industry and on our brand as we possibly can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, John, I noticed that you have a regular email that goes out, and it has all kinds of stuff. Is that weekly? Does that go out weekly?
That is weekly. Yeah.
We were talking about this here at the office just the other day. How much care you put into that? That thing is it is definitely written by a person, not AI.
It is. I personally write that myself.
Yeah. How much time do you put into that? That's crazy.
So, Andy, I appreciate you recognizing that. That's something that I've been doing for the better part of probably 15 years now.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I miss a Monday. Like this week, I missed Monday because it was kind of busy, but I got it out yesterday. Okay. But it's something, again, like EJ just mentioned, it's about touch points. It's about, just giving information to the customer, giving an extra layer of information. Yeah, you can log on to our website and get all that information on our website. And you can find pretty much all the information that I'm cascading to my customers. But you know what? I want to put it in an email and make it personal. That's what I want to do. Yeah. I want to make sure the customers know that every week, John Hichak is thinking of you. John Hichak, wants, whether you currently do business with us, give us all of your business or half of your business. I want everyone knowing that John Hichak and Veseris and my team care, and we are always constantly thinking about ways to earn your business. What can we do to earn your business? And, it's become secondary. I mean, I literally wake up, from work, wake up in the morning on Monday morning to go to work, and I'm already processing, my brain's already processing. What am I going to email about this week? So, well, I appreciate you.
Yeah. It's noticed. So just so you know, the hard work doesn't go unnoticed. So have you guys seen like the PCO and distributor relationship over the last 5 years? Has it changed? We had COVID happen and shipping was problems and supplies. Has anything really changed? Has it evolved at all?
So that's a great question. And what we have noticed is obviously the acquisitions continue to keep happening. They're not happening as much. It's slowed down significantly, but there are still acquisitions that are happening. With the acquisition crunch, we have to adapt. There are, acquisitions that, whether we're doing a significant amount of business with a customer that gives us all their business and they get acquired, they could be acquired by someone that we quite frankly don't do business with, and we could lose that business. But, the one thing that I could say that, the one thing that is constant about the landscape in our industry is the relationships. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that I pride myself on, is just building relationships, establishing some of the best, friends, relationships, friends, even family that, in this industry that I could possibly imagine. I've become friends with some of the most amazing individuals. And, my success, it's a very simple equation. Our success lies on your success. Veseris' success lies on our customer success. And we, as a company, have that value within our entire company of, what can we do better? What can we do today that we didn't do yesterday that would make us better? And as the landscape of our industry changes, we want to adapt to it as well and continue just providing that excellent service that the customers rely on us to provide.
Yeah. Now, maybe EJ can answer this one. Well, let's see. We'll test you. What are are there value added services that Veseris brings to the table? Can we get CEU credits? Can we get, training or anything? What's out there for us?
Absolutely. I mean, Veseris is, with the website, you can get CEU trainings. Obviously, John for years has also facilitated a lot of trainings. We are currently working with our vendor partners as we narrow down towards the end of the year of trying to set up some trainings in January and February for most of our clients. Obviously, timing is difficult and everything is a crunch, but we're doing our best to try to accommodate everyone as much as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, is there something that, from your guys' point of view, that say, like, I'm imagining small operators, 1, 2, maybe up to 5 guy operators, that they're doing wrong that they could do better with distribution to be more competitive? Are they not taking advantage of aspects of leveraging their relationship with distribution?
I could take that, EJ. So, one of the things that we, again, are trying to do, Andy, is change and adapt to the landscape changes in our industry. And what we're doing is we're creating sales individuals in our company that are going to be able to communicate whether you have, a 1-person company or a 500-person company. We're trying to create an experience where, okay, if you're a 1 or 2 man operator or a 2 to 5 man operator, we know that you have not really communicated with a Veseris rep or someone in Veseris other than walking into one of our facilities. And now I'm not downplaying our facilities, but our facilities are designed to take care of those 1 to 5 man operators. But they go in, they pick up their stuff, they communicate with our CSRs, and they leave. But like you just said, Andy, we want to create, have someone that can call on those 2 to 5 man operator companies and interact with them, a salesperson. So that's why we created our inside sales team. So we have, our CSRs who are handling the walk-ins, creating that environment where a customer could come pick up for a job that they have scheduled that day. Then we have our inside salespeople that are going to be calling on the smaller companies to medium size, which is 2 to 5 or even 2 to 10 or whatever it may be, depending on the size of the company. Then we have our outside sales team that's going to be calling on the mid-range companies that are, like a company like yourself or so on and so forth. And then we just recently created another layer of sales, a key account manager. We actually just hired a key account manager for our region. And our key account manager is going to be calling on the top 40 to 50 accounts in our region. That's whether, dollar wise, 40 to 50 of the biggest accounts. That's all they're going to be doing is managing, calling, and growing the business with those accounts. So we're trying to create an experience, whether you're, again, a 1-man operator or a 500, technician company. We want to make sure that everyone's getting an equal opportunity to have that experience with Veseris. And we offer, the same service, the same type of service that we're offering. We want to be able to offer it to all of our clients across our board.
Yeah, that's neat. So it sounds like, if I'm hearing that right, you have sort of a layered approach.
Yep.
Where, like, for those small guys, you meet them where they are, and maybe they're coming into a service center, they're just picking stuff up and talking to a CSR there or whatever. Get a little bit bigger, you're talking to an inside sales rep that you can call up and get the help. A little bit bigger, then you kind of have a rep that might visit you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's neat. That's it seems like a lot to manage. Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
So, we have layers of management that we have, a couple people that manage our inside sales team. We have, people like EJ that manage, 6 to 10 sales reps in a region. Then the key account managers report into me. And we have make sure, we want to make sure that we have enough layers of management to obviously manage all of the changes that we're making within Veseris.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have, and maybe this is too inside baseball, I don't know. Do you have inside training where you guys are doing like general, like product training? You're learning about the materials and how they're used and whatever. What happens inside with that?
That's actually a great question. So, one thing that, we pride ourselves on is, whether it's from our CSRs up to our leadership team, we are constantly learning about products. And how we do that is we have twofold. We do in-house manufacturing training with all of our departments. We'll have one with all of our CSRs. We'll have one with our OSRs, outside sales reps, ISRs, which is inside sales reps. We'll have one with our customer service managers. And what it does is, if there's a new product, for instance, I'm using Redesco from BSF as an example. BSF and Veseris has learned that we cannot just say, okay, BSF, you're launching Redesco. Now all of our team is just going to sell Redesco. No, we want to teach our team the benefits of Redesco. We want to teach our team from BSF along with Veseris. We want to collaborate and basically train our employees on how to sell products. Where the strong points of this product are, where the weak points are, not just about, telling this product is the best product, since sliced bread. We want to make sure that this product, everyone knows and understands how to sell this product. And that goes for our entire portfolio. EJ could tell you, we're constantly having learn that sessions on all of the products, even, giving us, refreshers on, legacy products. For instance, like rodenticides. A lot of the rodenticides have not changed, but we want some refreshers. So we're constantly teaching our team, on the products and making sure that our team members can interact with our customers and be able to help to hold a conversation with them about the product.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting. As distribution, you kind of sit in this interesting spot between two parties where you have manufacturers on one side and you have the end users, the PCOs, on the other side. Is there a two-way communication where you guys get feedback from the people out in the field? They bought the product. Do you hear back, like, how is that working and how's that go?
Well, so yeah, I mean, we're always wanting to absorb more feedback from our customers. And, like you said, it's a two-layer approach. You have the manufacturing rep. I'm just going to use BSF as an example. Kelly Atland, who we all love.
Yep.
She'll give us feedback on, from her experience with the customers. If she's worked out in the field today, working with a customer that had some positive, feedback on Redesco, she'll share it with the team, whether it be an email. Quite frankly, emails just are able to get out a little bit easier. She could cover the whole team with one email. And she'll be like, hey, I met with so-and-so, in Rhode Island, and they have a success story about Redesco, and then we'll share with Kelly at BSF about, our success stories that we hear from the field, whether it be a customer that we recommended the product to that calls us up and be like, hey, John, we had that really bad roach problem in New York City, and you recommended Alpine WSG to us, and it just completely annihilated the German cockroach infestation. So we'll take that and give it back to BSF as feedback.
Yeah. Now, you guys also, where you sit as a distributor, you have kind of a finger on the pulse of what's going on. How's the pest management industry right now? How's the year been? Let's talk a little bit about that.
That's another great topic to talk about. Overall, I'm an open book. I am one that to tell you whether or not we're having a great year. The last several years for the pest control market overall have been very, very fruitful. The growth has been, exponential. This year overall, now that I sit in a little different position, I could get feedback from my counterparts, all across the country. And overall, the general consensus is that the pest control market, pest pressure in general, is flat, Andy. A lot of customers are not having a great year. Some customers, are reporting down years. Big customers are reporting down years. And again, we're in a very weather-driven business. And, the awareness that we have promoted over the last several years in the mosquito and tick markets nationwide have been incredible. And, you know, we've had a very dry summer, a very dry season, and the markets are just not there. And, you know, but again, we're in a very resilient market. We're a very resilient industry where we will, you know, get creative and think outside the box. And that's what I love about our customers and I love about our industry is that, you know, if you're down in one sector, you're going to get creative and, you know, figure out how to bounce back in another section of our industry.
Yeah, and it is resilient. When we talk about a soft market for pest control, it's like, okay, we grew 5% instead of 20.
Exactly. You know, I have a customer that I've been tracking. You know, I will keep his name anonymous, but he's a guy that branched off from a bigger company, and he started a company about 7 years ago, and I've been watching him grow. And every year, I mean, I just talk to him and I just see his growth has just been substantial. And this year it's funny because I had a conversation with him about a week ago and the conversation went just like that. You know, John, he's like, I don't know what to do. I only had 13% growth this year, you know, and I start laughing and he's like, what's so funny? I'm like, our conversation. I'm like, you know, for the last 7 years, you know, it was 30%, 40%, 25%. I'm like, you know, it's not that you didn't hit a wall. You got to punch through those glass ceilings, as they would say.
Yeah.
And, you know, being up 13% is very respectful and commendable.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. So now are both you guys going to be up here for the November 5th conference?
We will be. I am looking forward to that. I explained, I had a conversation with EJ about that meeting and I told him about the success of it. And, you know, I will be sending an email out to, you know, in probably my next email blast. I don't want to send it too soon, but I will be, you know, obviously starting to promote that because obviously the more people that there, the better for us, the vendors, for you guys, the association. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, EJ, last year, the meeting was great. We had a great turnout. I mean, exceeded expectations. It was great to see. It was great to see so many, you know, familiar faces and get to meet some new faces. And, you know, I tip my hat to the association. I tip my hat to Andy's wife, Holly, who, you know, did an amazing job planning that. And, you know, the one thing that I say, I think I may have put a post on this on LinkedIn. I don't post that much on LinkedIn, but I did put a post on there. Something that hasn't been done in a very long time is your wife took the time out to write each manufacturer a handwritten letter. And that was so nice. And there was a lot of manufacturers, a lot of distributors, a lot of vendors there. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again this year. I can't wait.
Yeah, it should be good. We're doing a few things different this year. We have a business forum that's running parallel to the technical classes. So something for owners where they can learn, you know, things on the business side of it, not just the CEU side of it.
Yep.
We're also doing sort of a trade show hour. So one of the things that in the past we haven't liked is that sometimes when you go to these classes, there's not enough time for the attendees to spend some time with the vendors.
Yep.
I always was rushing through. You got a 15-minute break and you're running around trying to talk to people as fast as you can, hit the bathroom, get out of a drink before you know it, you got to be in the next class. So we opened up some time so that we can actually sort of do a real trade show. People can visit with everybody. For the upstate folks, the upstate operators, we don't have service centers up here that we can visit. We don't usually get a lot of reps that come through. So these sorts of things are great opportunities for us to meet people face to face, to make those connections that we don't get a lot of opportunities to do otherwise. So we're really looking forward to it, and hopefully it's another great year.
I think it should be. I mean, you got the same people running it, you got the same people promoting it. You know, you already got some traction, and I think that it will be bigger and better than last year.
I hope so. So I'm excited to see both of you up there on November 5th. EJ will meet for the first time. John will meet again.
Absolutely.
Sounds good, Andy. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for you and your wife for all your efforts.
Our pleasure.
Industry certainly appreciates it. I know we do.
Our pleasure. And then how can people get a hold of you guys if they need to? So
the easiest way to get a hold of us, myself. Most people have my email address. It's john.mylastname, Hichak @veseris.com. You could always call one of our pro centers. We have a general number that wherever you're located geographically, it'll put you in contact with the closest branch. So for instance, if I'm in Florida and I call the number, it's going to put me in contact with the closest facility in Florida. That is 1-800-888-4897. Or the easiest way is going to visit Veseris.com, Veseris.com, where that is our entire portfolio of websites now impregnated into one place. Before we had Veseris.com, we had pestweb.com, we had our CEU training website, we had everything. Now everything's in one location.
Okay. How about you, EJ? How can we get a hold of you?
Same thing. Probably the easiest way would be by email. My email is ej.lazzarini, Lazz. Sorry about that. A dog in the background. ARINI@Veseris.com.
Awesome. Well, guys, we look forward to seeing you, and thanks for coming on with us today.
Thank you for having
Andy,
us, Andy. You have a great
see you in a
day.
little while,
Look forward to meeting you in
Thanks,
person.
man.